You probably use Node.js every single day and don't even realize it. From the shows you stream to the apps you chat on, Node.js is this invisible engine that powers a huge chunk of the modern web. But the way it works, well, it kind of defies logic. It's all built on this one core idea that sounds, frankly, impossible. So that's the big question, right? How can one single, solitary thread handle thousands of connections all at once without even breaking a sweat? I mean, traditional servers need a whole separate thread for every single person who connects. It just sounds like it shouldn't work. But the answer? Well, it's actually brilliantly simple. To really get Node.js, we've got to throw out some of the old rules. This isn't just another server technology. It's a completely different way of thinking about how to handle tons of people all trying to use your app at the same time. So at its heart, what is Node.js? It's basically a program that lets you run JavaScript outside of a web browser. It's built on the V8 engine, the same super fast engine that powers Google Chrome. And that one simple idea, letting JavaScript escape the browser and run on the server, just blew the doors wide open for developers. Okay, here's where it gets really different. A traditional server is like a call center, where every caller gets their own dedicated operator. If that operator needs to go look something up, you, the caller, are stuck on hold, just waiting. Node.js, on the other hand, is like one superstar operator who takes your request, kicks off the lookup, and then immediately moves on to the next call without waiting around. This non-blocking approach is an absolute game changer for IO-heavy apps, apps that spend most of their time just waiting for a database or some other service to get back to them. So how does that one superstar operator keep track of everything without getting totally overwhelmed? Well, that brings us to the secret engine at the very heart of Node.js, the event loop. If there's one thing you need to understand about Node, it's this. This is the magic. It's what allows that single thread to be so incredibly efficient and scalable. You could say it's the conductor for the entire orchestra. Think of the event loop like an incredibly efficient chef in a busy kitchen. The chef takes an order, that's a new event. Now, they don't just stand there and watch the water boil. No way. They put the water on the stove and immediately start chopping vegetables for the next order. Then a timer goes off. That's a completed operation. So the chef goes back to the stove and adds the pasta. That's what we call executing a callback from the queue. This cycle just repeats over and over and over, making sure the chef is always productive and never ever just waiting around. That's the event loop. And that quote really just nails it, doesn't it? It's not some kind of dark magic. It's just a much, much smarter way to work. By carefully orchestrating all these little waiting games, Node can handle a massive workload with surprisingly few resources. Understanding that orchestration is the key to everything. Of course, trying to manage a world where nothing happens in a neat, predictable order, well, that can get a little messy. So over the years, developers have come up with some pretty clever ways to tame all that asynchronous power. In the early days, we had callbacks. You'd tell a function, hey, when you're done, run this other function. But if you had a bunch of tasks that depended on each other, you'd end up with this deeply nested, impossible-to-read pyramid of code we lovingly called callback hell. Then came promises, which were a huge improvement. They let us chain actions together in a much cleaner way. But today, the gold standard is async await. It's really just a prettier way to use promises, but it lets us write asynchronous code that looks and feels just like regular synchronous code. It's so much more intuitive. All right, so the theory is cool and all, but how does this stuff actually help us build the powerful apps we use every day? Let's zoom in on a couple of key features that make it all possible. One of Node's secret weapons is something called streams. Imagine trying to drink from a fire hose. You can't, right? You'd have to fill up a giant bucket first. Well, that's kind of like trying to load a massive file into your computer's memory. It's slow and hogs resources. Streams are like being able to sip from that fire hose through a straw. They let you work with huge amounts of data in small, manageable chunks. This is absolutely essential for things like video streaming or handling big file uploads. And what's great is that streams are super versatile. You have readable streams to, read from a giant file. You have writable streams to save a big file. Duplex streams can do both, kind of like a network socket for a real-time chat. And then you have transform streams, which can actually change the data as it's flowing through, like compressing a file while it's being uploaded. Now, when it comes to actually building web servers in Node, the vast majority of developers use a framework called Express.js, and its real power comes from this simple but brilliant idea called middleware. Middleware functions are basically an assembly line for every request that comes into your server. The request comes in and it passes through a series of stations. Maybe the first station just logs the request. The second one checks if the user is logged in. The third one might parse some data. Each little piece of middleware does one specific job and then passes the request down the line. It's just a beautiful modular way to build really complex logic.
Look, building an app isn't just about cool features. It's about making sure it's robust and doesn't fall over. So how do professional Node developers handle errors and get ready for a ton of traffic?
This is a really important distinction. In the real world, not all errors are the same. Pros separate operational errors, which are expected problems, like a database connection timing out, from programmer errors, which are, well, they're just bugs in the code. You handle operational errors gracefully. Maybe you retry the connection. But for bugs, the safest thing to do is often to just let the application crash and have an automated tool restart it instantly. It sounds scary, but it prevents the app from running in some weird, unpredictable state.
And what about when you get popular and need to handle more users? Remember, a single node process only uses one CPU core. So to use all the power of a modern computer, you can scale up using Node's built-in cluster module. This basically creates a copy of your app for each CPU core on a single machine. Or for massive traffic, you scale out. You run your app on many different machines and use something called a load balancer to spread the requests out among them. This is how Node apps can serve millions of users at once. And really, that's what this all boils down to. The whole philosophy of Node.js is built around this one powerful concept: do more with less. By simply refusing to waste time waiting around, it achieves this incredible efficiency, all with just a single thread.
It's really a testament to clever engineering winning out over raw brute force. And it leaves you with this really fascinating question. If we can achieve this much just by completely rethinking how a single thread is supposed to work, what other big assumptions about how we build things for the web are we ready to challenge next?